In a world almost forgotten sits the majestic Grand Library of Sor Phoebe. Full of knowledge and hope, it straddles two city nations full of tension. 6 unlikely heroes are amongst their midst when a fire breaks out. Will they succeed in saving the library? This is Librarians and Dragons, Part 5. Victory or Failure.
Gramata, you are up next.
Now, since I'm outside, I don't know about Vorbis's reveal and everything that's going on, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so since I don't know what's happening, I'm going to turn to Rector and say, Rector, from one warrior to another, you must realize that this is not the right fight. Help me stop this war before it starts. And then I'm also going to try and put out fires in front of me.
Alright, so go ahead and roll a persuasion check with advantage. That's your free action. And then you can also roll a survival check to try to put out the fires. And that would be your action.
15 on the persuasion.
Nice, okay.
And then what did you say, survival?
Survival.
5.
Oh, okay. You do not manage to put out the fire, but you do manage to get through to Vorbis, who holds up his hands. He says, Soldiers! Sortian soldiers! Stop this nonsense! By command of your head of guard! Tweedle, Daedalus, and Dumdalus look at Rector and say, But we can win this battle! We're stronger than them! Rector holds his hand firm and looks to you, Gramata, says, I'll have things under control here. Please, help the people. And you're like, I'm doing that already, as you attempt to put out the fire.
I will, as I continue to fail to put out this fire.
Yeah, he's like, do it better, if you don't mind.
Do it better!
Do better at what you're doing. Right. Nice turn there. And then we get to Tayatzin, right?
On my turn, I turned him invisible, so... Lady Ellen, I think that resolves all the matters we have to handle out here. What if we go check out some books inside?
Ooh, let's find a nice... I happen to know of a nice secluded room in the western portion of the library, if you'd like.
That sounds excellent. Let's go check that out.
Alright, she escorts you. You're still invisible, but she escorts you down around that same corner. Convenient. How convenient, right?
Right.
And she walks you down. She actually uses her movement to drag you down to the top of the stairs. And then with her action, she shoves you down the staircase. She's going to make a strength check against your athletics. So go ahead and roll a strength saving throw for me.
Strength saving throw. Okay. This is a 0 modifier, but I got a 15.
All right. Sorcerers are not known for being terribly physically strong, but a 15 is quite good. However, in a complete shock to everybody, including myself, I rolled a nat 20. So she pulls out some unveiled strength that she didn't even know she had. And she shoves you down the stairs. Daffodil, you see this happening because you are actually right here. You see Ellen shove this invisible... Well, actually, you don't see who she's shoving because she's invisible. But you just see her thrust her hands out. And Tayatzin, you go spilling down the steps. You take 6 points of damage as she starts to close the door behind you. And she says, My dear true husband, I'll let you take care of the rest. And she gets a sinister overtone to her voice. She reveals herself to be not as innocent as she seems. You are now knocked prone, Tayatzin. However, you do have your action left if you have something you would like to do physically. Like cast
do I see anyone else? I do, right?
Yeah, you see the gnome and the rogue seeming to be battling Lord Vorbis, who looks much more sinister and evil than he did before.
Right, I thought he was just a patron, okay. Yeah, I don't even think I have to stand up to cast my spells, so I think I will just stay here. And so let me just grab the 2 books that I picked up here. And I'm going to twin the spells again. I'm going to go ahead and cast Catapult.
I love Catapult.
I'm going to catapult these 2 books in a straight line, 90 feet. Hopefully the line doesn't intercept my friends before it hits Vorbis.
It would not.
Okay, great.
Alright, so you make an attack roll, right?
I think Vorbis has to make 2 for each book dexterity saving throws. He has to beat 13.
Okay, thank you. For those of you who are a little newer to D&D, if you're not sure how a spell, like if you're a spellcaster, spells are a little more complicated than weapon attacks. So if you're not sure what a spell does or how it operates, please feel free to ask. If it's not your turn and you don't want to interrupt, you can ask in the chat and someone might be able to help you out. If not, I will certainly be able to help you. So, dexterity saving throw, Lord Vorbis, he rolls a 21 and a nat 1. So I think the 21 is going to be saved.
Yeah, so he only has to take one of these hits, and then it's going to be only 13 points of bludgeoning damage.
Well, that is not half bad. That is actually pretty good. 13 points of damage. He does not like that. And his magic shield does not seem to have any effect against that magic spell that you just did. So 13 damage against Lord Vorbis. He says, now the numbers are starting to pile up, wife. You might need to seal us in. And Ellen begins to close the doors behind her to seal you guys to your fates. All right, well, nice job. You finally have managed to damage the big boss. Lord Vorbis will go next. And since you pissed him off by being the first to attack Banxi, sadly, you're going to be the first to die. So we're going to color this a little dramatically because Banxi actually has to leave. So obviously he's not going to do all whatever 40 points of damage that you have as your health, but he's going to go ahead and cast his strongest spell, which is Cone of Cold. And he is going to target Banxi as well as Tayatzin. The rogue, you are not in his range, so Mike, you are safe. Tayatzin, go ahead and roll a Constitution saving throw. Banxi, we're just going to say that you failed that con save, sadly.
Okay, I got a +4 here. That's only a 7.
Oh, you fail. All right, you're going to take the full brunt of this Cone of Cold. We're going to flavor this a little bit. What is your max HP, Marco? You got, what, like 20 health?
Max is only 20, yeah.
20, okay. All right. Well, good thing we have a cleric in the party. Banxi leaps in front, dramatically in front of Tayatzin to shield him from the blast. The last noble act of our gnome artificer, as she is blasted by the Cone of Cold, taking, well, let me see, you take 23 points of cold damage.
No.
And you are turned into a block of ice. And Tayatzin, you take half that, so you're going to take 11 points of damage, as Banxi essentially acts as a human shield, blocking the majority of the colds from you. And you see her, you look up, and her noble sacrifice was not in vain, as you are able to survive the blow, and she is frozen. Banxi, we can still see you, so why don't you strike your frozen pose? Your final heroic act. How noble. All right, Tayatzin, that is the end of your turn. And Vorbis's turn is up as well, so that's going to bring us back to Daffodil. Daffodil, you see Ellen cackling ominously as she tells her husband to do away with these interlopers. What do you do, Daffodil?
Can you not hear me? Hello?
I can relay what
I can see and hear her.
I can relay what you want to say if you want, Amelia.
Yeah. Okay, let's do that. Let's just do that.
Sounds good.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready. Bring it.
All right, so I'm going to magically summon Corporeal Spirit. I'm able to do that.
So she's going to magically summon an incorporeal spirit.
Using my Spirit Totem.
Using her Spirit Totem.
And
that she's got 3 options. I assume she can hear me. So she's got her bear.
Yes,
her
she can hear you.
Yes, so she can use her bear spirit, hawk spirit, or the unicorn spirit.
Yes, so I'm going to use my bear spirit to heal whoever's downstairs. Because I heard
which one
a
is she
thud.
choosing there?
She's going to go with her bear spirit so she can heal.
All right, so that bear spirit is going to emerge and create a 30-foot aura around her, which will heal. Let me see, grab her sheet here. Allies gain 8 temporary hit points and have advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. So, Tayatzin, you're going to heal 8 health, or you're going to gain 8 temporary health points.
Got it, 8.
And same with Daffodil herself. All right, that was Daffodil's bonus action. Translator, what else is she going to be doing on her turn there?
I also want to open
That's
the
only
door.
a bonus, so she can move, and she can also cast a spell or make a weapon attack.
Okay, Amelia, anything else you want to do?
Yeah, I want to open the door and go downstairs, see what's going on.
She wants to open the door and go downstairs, see what's going on.
All right, she rushes down the stairs, and she sees this terrifying scene. The gnome that she had spied in the library earlier is frozen into a block of ice. The sorcerer is down on the ground, healing from his wounds as best he can. And the rogue is doing battle with this evil-looking man in exotic-looking robes. She can still cast a spell if she wishes. Does she have any spells that might be useful in this situation?
Can I attack? I'm pretty sure I still had my little sword drawn.
She wants to know if she can attack.
Yes, so you can attack either magically using Thorn Whip or Heat Metal or Moonbeam. Those are your best attacking spells. Or you can fire off your Sling, which does a small amount of damage, but is still useful if you don't want to use magic. Druids are famous for polymorphing into various animals. So if you like, you could polymorph into a, like a big animal and attack as that animal.
Yeah, I want to turn into Big Bear.
She likes that idea. She's going to turn into a big bear.
All right, so she is going to do that, and that's going to increase her speed somewhat, so she's able to bound further into the room in her bear form, and that is going to be the end of her turn. And
she's pleased.
Yes, good job, Amelia. I'm sorry, I don't know why only certain of us can hear you and certain of us cannot, but that is technology for you. All right, so you are now a bear. Good job. All right, we have precious little time to see if we can fell Lord Vorbis. We are going to go next to Dewey's turn. Dewey, having stolen the eyeglasses from Impatia, you are keenly aware of your surroundings. You can hear some hubbub going on inside the library, but obviously there is plenty of hubbub outside the library. So what do you wish to do?
Have I been able to see Lady Ellen's doings following the...
Yes,
okay.
you did. Yeah, you saw her.
I'm feeling very upset by what's been happening around that area, and I was actually wondering how many spells I'm allowed on my turn.
You can cast one spell on your turn, unless the other spell is a bonus action cantrip. So I'm looking at your sheet here. Yeah, unfortunately, you can only cast one, but since we're getting low on time, and we can move this along, so I'll let everyone get like an extra action or extra spell, just so we can push it along. So let's say you can cast 2 spells on your turn now.
I'd like to cast spike growth surrounding her and a web of spikes, if possible. Sorry, around Ellen.
So you swoop in using your fly speed to get 40 feet, almost right to the top of these stairs, and you can see Ellen there. You cast spike growth, and what was the other one?
Barkskin.
Ooh, Barkskin is good. Barkskin will raise your armor class. That'll give you a lot more defense as your skin literally turns into like hardened wood. It is very useful for a cleric because you might not, you might need it. So your armor class, you are surrounded by a bark-like appearance of your skin, and you feel much more hardy as far as defenses go. You then cast Spike Growth as you up your own defenses, and that is going to surround Ellen of Anoia, who screams out as she makes a... Let's see, so if she starts moving, she's going to take damage. So anybody who moves through the space is going to be moving through difficult terrain, unless you can, move over it without walking through it. Which is good for you, Owlin, because you can fly. This spike growth rises up around Ellen, and she tries to rush away and escape. However, in doing so, she is going to, 6d4 of damage from you, from the spike growth. So, Dewey, you're going to roll 6d4, which means you're going to roll the 4-sided die 6 times. That's the one that looks like a pyramid, or a very sharp thing that you would not want to step on.
Okay.
And you're going to add all 6.
1. Okay, that's a total of 10.
All right, well, that is how much HP she had. So she goes down. You take down the villainous Ellen of Anoia as she scrambles to escape, but she cuts herself so severely on all of these spikes that she just, by the end of it, she crawls out, and you see her body. She's, semi-conscious. It looks like she might be on the verge of death, but she is certainly no longer a threat, as you see her bloodied and gashed by all of the spikes that you created. Dewey, that was a fantastic job. You've taken out one of our villains. All right, one villain remaining, as we're going to go back to... Since we skipped him before, we'll go back to him now. For Tayatzin, it is your turn.
Okay, so I liked catapult last time. I'll try it again. Let's see. So he has to make another dexterity saving throw at 13.
All right. And again, I'm going to let everyone do 2 actions on their turn from here on out. So you can cast 2 spells or do a separate attack. So his dexterity save is 7 total, so definitely a failure.
Okay. So let's do it again then.
All right.
Just so that'll be my second one.
All right. That one is better. That one he rolls a 22.
Yeah, that succeeded. Okay, yeah, definitely succeeded. He takes just 9 points of damage from this flurry of books.
For flurry of books. I've never thought that knowledge can do me such harm.
You never thought that knowledge was power?
No, the pen is clearly mightier. And Tayatzin, are you ending your turn there, or did you have something else in mind?
I think I'm ending my turn there. That's
all right, nice
yeah,
job.
As long as I get in for some damage.
All right, This mad mage is growing quite furious with the damage that you guys are lobbing his way, and he is going to pull out all the stops. He says, I will not be defeated thusly. My power is greater than any of you can imagine. And as he starts giving his villainous monologue, you notice that his features begin to change. His arms begin to recede behind him and grow smaller. His back, from behind him, you see 2 protuberances exploding out from behind his back. His mouth and nose begin to grow longer as his head begins to grow 2 terrifying-looking horns. And he says, my vengeance shall not be stopped by the likes of some measly librarians and their friends. I am going to take my ultimate form and destroy this city-state myself once and for all. And in the place of where Lord Vorbis was, suddenly exploding through the roof of the library for all to see, even those on the outside, is an enormous... Now, this game is called Dungeons & Dragons, right? We have not yet seen the titular character. Finally, we do, as an enormous dragon emerges, its huge serpentine head breaking through the top roof of the library, and it's going to spew out a cone of fire at everybody in the vicinity. Suddenly, the soldiers, the emperors, the bystanders, everybody on the outside turns in terror as this dragon flies up over the agora, spewing out its fire over the hapless bystanders. People are burned to a crisp. All of these people just melt away as the dragon makes its presence known. And our heroes, so Tayatzin and Daffodil, go ahead and roll dexterity saving throws.
12.
That'll be a 6 from me.
Ooh, that is a failure.
Not so good.
Okay, you guys both fail, unfortunately. You are going to take the full brunt of this flame as it pours out, dealing a whopping 11 points of damage. And he is going to end his turn flying about 20 feet in the air overhead, shouting his vengeance towards all. And that is going to be the end of his turn.
She is not pleased.
I am unconscious, actually.
Oh no, the poor sorcerer has gotten knocked out. I will say that Banks. Well, no, actually, someone might be able to heal you. Banksy is frozen. All right.
Yeah,
Too bad for Tayatzin. Arvon the Rogue, you are up next.
All right, you said that the dragon's 20 feet away, right?
20 feet up in the air, yes.
Yep. Coincidentally, my dagger has a thrown range of 20 feet, so I'm going to try to throw my dagger at it.
All right, you rush out towards the big hole in the ceiling, and you toss your dagger up towards the dragon. I will give you sneak attack because his back is turned to you, so go ahead and roll with advantage.
With advantage? Okay.
Yep.
I got a 1, so hopefully the next one comes out better. 10, so plus 4 would be 14.
14, that is enough to hit, just barely.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll not only your dagger damage, which is 1d4 plus 2, but also your 2d6 extra sneak attack. So you're going to roll a grand total of 2d6, 1d4 plus 2.
Okay, 2d6, I'll do that now. 1, 2, so 3, and then what else?
1d4.
1d4.
And we add the plus 2. So right now we're at 5 plus...
Yep. Plus 1.
Okay, 6 damage to the dragon. All right, pretty good. You poke him in the back, and he turns with his giant serpentine head. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten about you, he says in a draconic, slithering voice. Like everybody else, I'll give you a bonus action second dagger attack if you want to hurl a second dagger.
Yeah, I'll take a shot at it.
All right. Your sneak attack only applies once per turn, So you're not going to add your sneak attack, but you can still do regular damage.
Another 14.
That will hit again. So this time it's just going to be 1d4.
All right. 1.
Okay. Hey, better than 0, right? All right, you do an extra point of damage to the dragon, who is very displeased with this turn of events. Gramata, finally, you've been on the outside doing crowd control the whole time. You suddenly see a big, clear enemy that needs killing.
Rage!
Yes, you fly into a barbaric rage.
Am I too far? Can I get there?
I'm just going to say that you've been edging closer, putting out fires this whole time. So by the time that the dragon emerges, we'll say that you can be within wherever you need to be.
All right, I'm dual-wielding hand axes. I'm going to assume because of time you're going to let me frenzy right away.
Of
So I
course I
can
am.
do 2, yep. So 18 on one, 8 on the other.
The 18 will hit, the 8 will not.
Figured.
Now, as a barbarian, you can always reckless attack, which means you can give yourself advantage, but as a cost, the enemy then has advantage against you. So if you want to try to do more damage, you can roll that second one with advantage and try to hit, but on his next turn, he's going to have advantage against you. That's your choice.
No, I'll keep it like this.
All right, so on that one attack...
So I get 8 damage.
All right, 8 damage, and you also add some for your rage. You add an additional 2.2 damage. I love veteran players. 8 damage total, not too bad at all. All right, and else on your turn.
Are you gonna let me do more?
Well, you took 2 attacks. I mean, what else would you want to do? Because probably with 5 minutes left, this is going to be everybody's last turn. So go ahead and pull out all the stops. You got anything else?
I'm raging, so all I would want to do is attack.
All right, why don't you just go ahead and make 1 extra attack?
All right.
Oh, you get to do that anyway because you're frenzied, right? You get a bonus action attack anyway.
Right. Nat 19.
Nat 19 is going to hit.
6 damage.
All right. You are chipping away, and with your 2 hand axes, you manage to knock him out of the sky. He is no longer 20 feet in the air, but rather at ground level. Well done, Barbarian. Barbarians are very well known for dealing out lots of damage. All right, great work. Then that brings us back to the top of the order. Banxi frozen sadly in a block of ice. Daffodil is up again, and if you can translate Daffodil's turn, that would be great. She is a bear right now.
All right, as bear me, can I jump out of the library and go
She wants to know if
towards
she
the dragon?
can jump out of the library and go towards the dragon, or does she have to go the long way around?
No, she can jump out. Since she's a bear, she can leap out and head out through the same egress that the dragon utilized and get right up next to him.
All right, so I did that, and then I want to use the
Okay,
spell
so she did that.
Entangle.
And now she wants to use the spell Entangle.
Okay. So, using her bear-like strength, she's able to leap out. Now, normally, once a druid is changed into an animal form, they cannot cast their spells. But, again, we are at the end of the session, so we're going to just go ahead and let the rules fly right out the window. So, she's going to cast Entangle, forcing the dragon to make a dexterity saving throw, or maybe a strength saving throw, to avoid being entangled in vines and thorns and things like that.
She is pleased.
He is pleased. She's even more pleased because he rolled a 7, which is not going to succeed. So he is currently entangled, which means he cannot move. He is completely stuck in place. All right, nicely done. Anything else? She can summon a different totem, or she can continue using her bear totem, which makes sense because she is a bear, and doling out that temporary HP.
I want to attack as a bear.
She wants to attack as a bear.
All right, so then she's going to use an attack and have her roll a d20 plus, let's see, for a bear, plus 6. D20 plus 6.
18.
Nice. All right, and have her roll a 2d6 plus 3.
What am I rolling?
2d6, they're the square ones?
Correct. Regular, Monopoly die.
Got it. Okay. 3, and the other one, 6.
6 total?
All right, 6 more damage to the dragon, who is grounded, and he leaps around.
Does she get a strength modifier to that?
Yes, sorry, plus 3.
6 was base, so 9.
Oh, 9. Okay, even better. All right, so she deals 9 damage, The dragon is looking quite weak now, like he's taken a fair amount, and he turns his attention towards this new interloper, the bear, and the dragon is going to make a claw attack, one against the bear and one against our rogue. So the first attack against Daffodil is going to be against Daffodil's armor class. Your AC is a 17, he rolls a 19. So the dragon is going to deal to Daffodil 7 points of slashing damage with his claw, and then use his mouth to bite down upon the rogue against your armor class, Arvon. What's your armor class?
14.
All right, he misses. You're in luck. The dragon bites at you, but you dodge out of the way with your rogue-like finesse. The dragon is stuck in place thanks to the entanglement, so he is unable to move. So he is just a sitting duck for our heroes. So we'll have Dewey go and Arvon, and that'll be the end. So Dewey and Arvon, it is up to you. Dewey, what would you like to do?
I would like to cast Guiding Bolt. It says that I can do this at a spell slot of 2nd level or higher.
That is
additional damage.
Yep, exactly. And you can cast it at 2nd level, dealing 5d6 damage if you hit. So first you have to roll a d20, and you're going to add your spell attack bonus, which is a +4. And because it is restrained by entanglement, I'm going to give you advantage on the attack roll.
I have a 15, that's +4.
Mm-hmm.
And advantage means I roll again?
Yep, you might as well, because you might get a natural 20.
5.
Okay, so we'll go with the first one. So that is going to hit. You streak a guiding bolt of radiant energy across the library steps, striking the dragon right in the chest. Roll 5d6 radiant damage. 5d6 is going to be 5 of these Monopoly die. And just add them all
I happen
together.
to have 5 of them right here.
Perfect.
I have 12 here.
12, all right. You do 12 damage to the dragon, who falls to its knees, looking like the slightest blow may knock it over. Now, Guiding Bolt has an extra effect of illuminating the creature thanks to its mystical light that you have bestowed upon it, giving the next player advantage. So the next player is Arvon. Arvon, you're going to be the last one to go. You're going to have to succeed here, we hope, or else this dragon is going to live to destroy another city-state.
No pressure. All right. I will attack with my sword then.
All right. You can get nice and close to him, and you have advantage. So roll 2 times. Good luck.
4 and 18 plus 4 would be 22.
All right. That 4 scared me. I was a little nervous there for you. That 22 is going to succeed. And while we're at it, since as a rogue you can take a bonus action anyway to make a second attack, go ahead and make a second attack roll.
Okay.
And then we'll add up all the damage together.
10 total.
And you have advantage, so roll that one twice as well.
Down to 20.
A nat 20. All right, guys, this is perfect. We're ending our game on a critical hit. So, between your 2 attacks, your critical, you're going to roll a grand total of 7d6 plus 4.
Okay. So plus 4. Got it. All right.
Now, audience, while he's rolling his dice and adding them up, you can use the chat. How do you think? It looks like Arvon might slay this dragon. Why don't you guys write in some suggestions of some cinematic finishing move that he can use against this dragon? Throw it off in the comment section. The best one, I'll call out loud.
This is shaping up pretty good. So, total of 32.
32 damage. All right, audience, do you have any ideas of a cinematic finishing blow? If not, I'll let Arvon make something up. Last comment in the chat, Arvon is a rogue fart and the spark of destiny. So even though that was a completely unrelated comment, you are a rogue, it kind of fits here. So using this spark of destiny and maybe some passing gas, how do you finish the dragon? You can be as over the top and cinematic as you wish. Nothing is off limits now.
Never underestimate the power of a rogue fart. And then I take my slice.
All right. You propel yourself up into the air with the power of your rogue fart. And as you raise your short sword, swooping down from the sky like an assassin, with your sword gleaming the spark of destiny in the sunlight above, you come down right upon the dragon's head, and you strike it through its skull, bringing it down finally to the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, our heroes have vanquished the foe. The city, the citizens, and the soldiers, and the emperors of the twin city-states of Sort and Ephebi raise our heroes up on their shoulders, thanking them for their heroic efforts at not only defeating this enemy who has tried to literally set the town on fire, but also reinstituting a very much needed peace and truce as the two twin emperors go up and hug each other as brothers are supposed to do. And thank you all, showering you with rewards and gold for your next journey, which lies ahead. Congratulations, heroes. You have saved the Grand Library of Sorphebi. You have rescued the two city-states, and you have gained fame and acclaim, not to mention rewards and gold through your heroic bravery. Thank you all for joining us. On behalf of all of the libraries, friends of the library that have helped put this together, this has been Librarians and Dragons. Thank you guys so much for sticking around and making this a fun, memorable event. And thank you to our players. A round of applause at home for our players for diving into the battle and to the situation and kicking some major dragon tail.
This production of Librarians and Dragons was brought to you by the East Brunswick, New Brunswick, Piscataway, and South Brunswick Public Libraries. Our Dungeon Master was Adam Samter of Tabletop Now. Enjoy other adventures on the EBPL Podcast Network by visiting ebpl.org/podcast.